We're about to start our little workshop and demo. We're going to be introducing some things that you can bring into your home to allow you to access and start your own aerial practice and empower you to be able to do that. And I'm really excited to be able to share this with the wonderful Alethea Dawson
Hello!
and James here, as well as playing some pan for us. Such a beautiful instrument. I'm so thankful to have those blessings here today. Yeah, thanks to the Grassroots Network for putting us on. Big shout out to them. Yeah, and big shout out to Magoo's Pizza and all their gear they get through Grassroots. Totally Steamed. V Volpe for the aerial rig, and shout out to the ethereal aerial community, definitely. We wanted to do that broadcast era, but unfortunately it didn't survive the crash of the economy, like some studios, many aren't. So a lot of people are learning how to bring this practice into their homes. So that's kind of what prompted this, and that's why we have this A-frame circus rig here to show you some stuff. So with that said, I'm going to pass the mic over. We're going to start opening up a little forum, and then we're going to introduce some gear and ask each other some questions. So, yeah, I'm just really excited to be here with y'all. And if you don't mind, can we all take one big cleansing breath together before we talk? Let's just start finding space to just be comfortable. Let's take a deep inhalation. Rising. And I want you to open out the exhale. Sigh that all out. Push a little extra to the bottom. Oh, God. Doesn't that feel good? Thank you. We'll get back to some more breath work and a little bit of mat work and some demo that we're going to do here in a moment. But, yeah, let's get this rolling here. And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Alright, so my name is Alethea, and I originally started my aerial career in 2017, and it was a training with Aerial Yoga Vienna in Bali. And
I love that connection. I want to get there one day.
And then I came back to Colorado, to Denver, and started out at Ethereal. And that's really where everything just got a really big start for me.
That's where we met. So.
Yeah. And then, so I had done a training with Born to Fly, a level 2 aerial training, and then almost another year had gone by, and I was in Bali, had just hosted my own aerial yoga retreat with Ethereal at the place where I did my training at, so that felt really special.
Yeah, I missed y'all when y'all were gone.
Yeah.
That was a rough week.
And so while I was out there for that trip, I saw yet another training for aerial yoga. And this is at Radiantly Alive with Sky Yoga. Each brand.
Do you think that's when you started to set the intention?
Yeah.
That's when it started to take root. Like you were like, I need to come back and be about this.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Set some roots.
And just, yeah. And so then about a year later from that, I was in Sumbawa doing more of the circus aerials with Momentum Collective, and I was offered the position at Radiantly Alive in Bali to teach aerial yoga and guide some of the teacher trainings, which has been the biggest honor ever. And now I'm back in Denver. I was really excited to get back in Ethereal. Shout out to Reba, too.
Reba, thank you. We love you. Thank you for the donations of these wonderful silks and helping empowering us in our practices. And I'll say it, thank you to both y'all for helping save my ass in my life. Thank you for helping me and empower myself and be confident enough to find a mat practice again. This doesn't have to just be an up level. This can be an extension of this. Nothing wrong with having a staff, knowing when to work and lean on something and work your way back. We all have struggles in our life, but meeting adaptive people that are willing to overcome stuff and work together truly separated all the other practices. I mean, I had been introduced to aerials before, but it was such a dance modality, and it honestly hurt my body doing it from one single dance point. It just wasn't conducive to healing. But when I found you guys and I could see the inspiration from dance and bridge that to motivate me to get off my ass and do the work. I'm not saying it's not work. It's work. And it's good work, though. It makes you, yoga has a way of getting you to keep showing up.
And it brings playfulness to the work.
Yes.
So it's like,
It's nice to laugh.
yeah, it brings a bit
Laughter
of
helps
playful
heal. We were
to
talking about
work.
that. You know, dancing, shamanic shaking, shamanic laughing, working through our insecurities, because we all have them. I know I have PTSD and stuff, and being able to work through that stuff and then be honest with people around me who are judging me and make eye contact, that's cool. I usually can't make eye contact with some people because I'm like, but it really allowed us to, with y'all's help and with the help of mycelium, been able to become a better human being. And, yeah, thank you.
Right back at you.
Yeah. And, through that and through your awesome teachings, they kind of checked me when I was going every single day, like obsessively, four times a day. They were like, you might want to try to do something more than just pat your own ego in there. That's not what they said, but, you know, turning your craft into something, because I did want it to be more than just maintaining my body. You know, the gift of finding the ability to get past my Calpurnius disease. And you'll see in the corner some pictures of me from the age of 7 when I lost my hip. Since then, you know, I had always had a desire to fly, to leave the ground, to leave my mortal coil that had me stuck in bed for years and on crutches and then wheelchairs, surgery, you know. About a third of, considering physical therapy, about a third of my life has been affected by it. And I know James has familiarity with this, which shows the karma circle. When I started working at Karma, to meet another individual out of the 1 out of 2 million people that get influenced by this disease, it really almost made me cry when I first took his class in the morning, and I came up to him afterwards and I was like, well, I had a childhood disorder that makes me practice yoga, because he had mentioned his back, and, you know, being an adaptive person who loves their practice but also does it out of real necessity. And he's like, oh, Calpurnius disease, the blood disorder, and I was dumbfounded. So sometimes, you know, when you surrender to what you need in life and you accept the path, because I never really thought I wanted to be a yoga teacher. That was my mom, but when she retired, I found this place and a new apparatus and practice that allowed me to own the energy in my own way, my own unique way, and be funky, weird, Nate who loves to come into colorful clothes and fly around and have a playful nature, you know. I hate to interrupt your music, but could you please tell us a little bit just about yourself and where you practice and teach yoga? And big shout out to Karma.
James. I've been practicing yoga only for about 10 years. I say only because I've met so many 20, 30-year veterans of yoga. Teaching for only 4 years. I took all of my training through Karma Yoga here in Denver. Percussionist for about 20 years. And hand is just a new addition to my repertoire. So they can ask me to come play, and I'm happy to share with you all. I play it in all of my yoga classes. I think some people come more for the hand pan than for my teaching. But
it's real. All it's nice. And where can they find your live stream cast of your classes?
I'm not really doing any live streaming right now.
I saw 1 or 2 that you did.
Yeah, I did a few through Karma, but then I got COVID, so I had to take a couple weeks off, and I haven't gotten back to teaching. So.
Well, we're glad you are maintaining your immune system and getting back to health, and I'm really glad to have a group of people who work at their immune system by finding that middle path. You know, we don't want to over-integrate with each other, but we want to find a way to keep on walking and keeping our bodies maintained so that we maintain a healthy respiratory system. I am no epidemiologist. I am a yogi, but I am definitely thankful to have y'all here today and to be able to cross over with the Karma community. And I taught there as well up until before this. There's still obviously some things going on with reopenings with all the places I work. I work with Equinox, teaching children with autism yoga. I also work at apartment buildings doing private with Infinite Pursuit out of Austin, Texas, here in Denver, and then math classes through Karma, and also I passed on my donation classes. I was working with Yoga for the People here in Denver as well, which is great. It's a way for me to get back to the hospitals here, so big shout out to them for them still doing that and getting those people to practice on their lunch breaks while y'all are out there fighting for us. Thank you so much. Really, it does mean a lot. Yeah, with that said, let's move on to a little bit of talking about bringing our practice into our homes, because I know a lot of us are trying to adapt. And I'm sure I will find a place in the future again to teach, but more than that, just connecting with your own practice. We talked about keeping the beginner's mind earlier, how you always need to keep a joyous, childlike nature to your apparatus. I mean, just whee! Excuse me. Sorry, we'll go through some safety stuff before we get silly. But yeah, getting in your own home and finding those lines in the movements and the things that are gonna really be intuitive from your own flow. It's there's good sides and bad sides to everything. I think a lot of people are finding their own artistic ways to express themselves.
Yeah, and I'd say new students sometimes give me the best ideas for another class or anything like that, because they might be doing something differently,
They keep it
having
fresh.
something differently, and it's like, whoa, like that move just made so much sense, or that was some fun little twist to do, and it flowed pretty well.
Yeah, we get into patterns that we do, and
Yeah.
and you start doing that. But then when you see somebody who doesn't have those patterns and they just go for something, sometimes you're like, whoa,
Yeah.
eureka! And it's the greatest moment, and I love that, because we definitely don't stop people from stopping and laughing and enjoying it, and so even if somebody hops out the front and thinks they're going where you're going and end up somewhere else, we'll be like, afterwards, will you show that to me?
Yeah. Pretty great.
So, yeah, yeah, good vibes, good start. Is there anything else?
Does it have the comment bar up there? Or
We have some comments rolling on the side there. We're going to address the comments later, because we'll be pulling that up through Facebook. But just some things I enjoy incorporating. You know, we did the broadcast originally from 4:20 to 5:20, but it took some technical problems to get worked out. But, you know, I enjoy no THC, CBD to start my practice. I put a little under my tongue. You're more than welcome. But that's something I really enjoy. And then afterwards, when we still have some questions, we'll hang out and we'll puff down some nice some herb with y'all and just kick it and hopefully field some questions. And we want to open this up to people and get people excited and liberated in exploring their own practices. Before we segue with that, before we get out of our seats, maybe we'll come back to this in a second. I was going to read a little bit from Thich Nhat Hanh. I'm already here, so before we move out of our seats and move forward. Sitting quiet, just breathing in and out. We develop strength, concentration, and clarity. So sit like a mountain. No wind can blow the mountain down. Shout out to everybody in 303, man. Lower City. Beautiful. Well, let's talk to the people a little bit about what we have here and some of the gear they might need in their homes. Sound good? All right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start with our fabric, and then we'll show you how we got these. We got your carabiners, and we have your daisy chains here. And these are tricot fabric. They're silks. Good starting place for setting like the standard in the industry for supplying supplies. I'm probably gonna get some slack for saying this for one company, but Aerial Essentials is just killing it. They got the best stuff. They send you a handwritten note when you get your stuff. They're rad. If you want to sponsor us, we will totally demo your stuff out online just for fun. You know, it's not about money, but we do want to share this to people. This is a quick release latch. When you're up on a ladder adjusting your height, you're going to want that. You're not going to want to be sitting there messing with certain specific climbing gear. These people have done the research. They know what. This is going to allow you to adjust your height. You can see it's a daisy chain, and just go up and click that on. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, and then we tie these silks around a ring. Can you show them a ring? Thanks. We have these rings, and that's so the silk doesn't get torn up. You're going to spend a lot of money on your fabric, and you become sentimental about it, and you just don't want to rip it out or pull it. It has like little pulls like nylon stockings, right? Say, which that's another thing. I mean, I wear some nylon or like leggings because it helps you slide through the fabric.
And you've also got the oval ones and the what is the shape? The ones that are a little bit smaller at the bottom. And these ones, once you put them in, you have to flip them so that the weight is on the most weight bearing point. These guys you don't have to flip.
They're the same on each side. Absolutely. And this, a lot of questions are, what do I hang my silk from? And right here, what this is an A-frame, kind of like a swing set when you were a kid. A-frame aerial circus rig by Volfi. V-Volfi, if you want to check them out. Great people. They hooked me up. I definitely would say check them out. They're here in Colorado, local people, and yeah, it's good to support the aerial circus community here. A lot of good people. With that said, you know, they are a little expensive, and these are a little heavier. There are some aluminum ones that are more like a silver color that you can get from Aerial Essentials. It's about $3,000.
I think somewhere around there, yeah. I think they have one
34.
I think they have a shorter one too that would be perfect for aerial yoga.
The 9-foot. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and say something right here. I'm gonna go ahead and squash this. A trapeze is not aerial yoga. It's a sex swing that's been modified with handles. It's not this. It has a weird fabric. It burns you. It's just not appropriate. And I'm not gonna continue to lie about under-curated yoga. Sorry. And we'll leave that. I don't want to be negative. And if you have that apparatus, I commend you for getting it. You're going to love doing your practice, and hopefully you're going to end up moving into an apparatus that can last you and really do what you need. So these hold a lot of weight, and they're good for all the circuits. What we're here to do is yoga. I mean, you take one of these, you might want to end up getting one of these figure eights, and also kind of stuff like swivels will allow you to pivot if you're trying to do more of that. But our focus here today is going to be on aerial yoga, not so much dance. But we do love the community, and that's, you know, where it came from, yoga and the crossing with these people having their apparatus at home. They were hanging at one point, tying knots on the bottom. And people got the idea of, look, I have 2 arms. Maybe I should have 2 points. And it really does. I mean, I waited 10 years trying it, and the wrong apparatus, it didn't click. 2 days and the right apparatus, properly set up, and it clicked. So thank you to anybody out there who's helping people get set up. In your home, you're probably going to want to get going before you have money to afford an aerial rig, though. So they have these little like eye hook mounts. They're plates with 4 holes for lag bolts. Now, most apartments, though, have an amendment in the lease that says no aerial mounting or changing your structure, basically. So I didn't tell you to set it up in there. You do your own thing.
And you want to check with most insurance companies, because with homeowners insurance too, even if you own the home, they can still make your homeowners insurance completely null.
Yeah, so you have a house fire, I don't,
Yeah.
It's just, you don't want to play. There's a reason, you know, it's still a good reason to go and get to a place that's properly curated, especially if you're wanting higher ceiling heights and stuff to work with, and try some double like double flying fairies and things where you go up higher, but yeah, just do it properly if you're going to do it. If you're not an arborist, I'll just say it, and I don't want to be a party pooper, but you probably shouldn't be connecting to a tree.
Mhm.
And a lot of you are going to want to do that, and I mean, I wanted to do it too, but I really don't think any of us really need to get hurt and way down the healthcare system right now. I don't think it's responsible, but I still think you need to make some decisions to take care of your health, but, you know, remain, you know, level-headed, and the whole point here is to help your health, not hurt it. And, you know, I learned the hard way, and not always, like, doing completely necessarily stupid stuff. There's already stuff that happens. I lost a tooth. And silk burns. What do you call them? Love kisses? Silk kisses?
Silk kisses.
Silk kisses. You get those silk kisses when you come down quick and you stop your momentum.
Or sometimes in the beginning you can get like bruising in certain areas, like when you go up into the double catcher. You got
You'll
the fabric
be
wrapped
proud
around your
about
leg.
it eventually.
And yeah, so sometimes you get bruises or like sliding your
But what do you feel about the
something.
benefits of that? It gets better because we're massaging the fascial tissue, which helps redistribute cellulite. People wonder about how do I get rid of cellulite. It has to do with continually massaging the fascial tissue and then working the muscles underneath it to give a new structure. So there's a huge benefit there. I mean, I'm not like staring, but it gets rid of the puckers, you know? It does, and it takes care of some of the varicose veins and stuff. It's just a really great, there you can up level and take more hit approach if you want and get, you know, aerial conditioning, get your heart rate up for cardio, or you can lower down the daisy chains. And that's how I like to start people, a foot off the ground. That's it. Just a foot. It's a confidence builder. It says, whoa, I can take this apparatus and approach it as a new prop in my home, just to empower my practice, much like this. This is what this is to me, y'all. It's an extension of, my mom started with my mom as a yoga teacher about 20 years ago. And, you know, my thoughts of this was partner yoga with straps, like pulling up, decompressing from the sacrum, from the front of the hips. But who always has another partner, even meeting new people? Acro's fun, but there's still that moment like, can I trust this person? Or can I trust myself? And just being able to push in against your own intuitive feedback. Because this tricot fabric really forms an extension of your line, extension of your arm line. And so it kind of works like a belt does. The first prop, when Iyengar got hurt, he wanted to continue his practice, so he started using blocks, you know? And there's always going to be a little bit of resistance when a new prop comes in, like, is that necessary? Do I need that? You know, we all want to be able to approach our practice, just approach it, and there's a lot of credit, there's a lot of merit to that too, but can you empower yourself with your props as well? I definitely think so. It allowed me to get back to the point where I'm standing around and not, having as much pain, which means I get to be more present with my friends, choose to smoke weed when I want for entertainment and for medicine, but, when I'm with students, then I can also be present to meditate and to clear my mind and try to find some center breath. We share in breath, and that's a beautiful thing. We need a lot of that in the world right now, tuning in to the week. Yeah. Beautiful. I think that was a good little intro.
I think we got a good little beginning here, and you want to lead us through a little flow?
Yes, absolutely. Cool. Well, we are going to start, and I am going to ask you just to go ahead and take an easy seat. If you're at home and you have a bolster, you'd like to join in. Some of this stuff you can do, or you can just modify without the props, but you can take a pillow and put it between the shoulders, or we will be in a moment if you have one. Not necessary. The idea there is we're just going to be opening up the shoulders and pulling it back. Before we do that, though, we're just going to start with a simple settling of our chi. just by first clearing the mind by focusing on some breath. Find an easy place just to sit. Now, I want you to take a deep inhalation in, right, and filling the belly, the heart, pulling the shoulders back a little bit, and open mouth exhale. Try it out. Lengthen the exhalations. Try not to drop, and then repeat that. Inhaling in, right, and filling the belly, heart, and then open mouth exhale. Good. Lengthening. And then repeating one more time. Try to make it the longest one yet. Just a little extra at the top for me. And at the bottom of this one, I want you to push a little bit again. Get out that last little bit. Good. And then just allow your breath just to be. Just sit in observation. Close down the eyes. Draw the focus internal towards the internal landscape of the mind. And then bring that awareness just to your breath. Nothing else. Paying attention to your inhalation in, thinking inhaling in, exhaling out, sitting with that. And allow the monkey mind to settle. That wants to come in, the chitta, the mind's connection to the heart. And that mindfulness, we want to allow that to settle. So our breath is our tool there. And we just shift to the point of the observer. You start to sit down, you're with your whole, all the bits, good and bad. And lots of times the ego wants to step in and is not comfortable with the whole of the experience. But it's very therapeutic to be there without ego and judgment. It allows us to check in, just observe the breath without judgment. Just send yourself love for being willing to show up today and meet yourself where you're at in this moment. It takes a lot of courage to be boldly honest. As our chi begins to settle, we can feel ourselves arriving more in this present moment. We're invoking our rest and digest. We're trying to slow our inhalations and exhalations, especially the exhalations, because we want to lengthen the vagus nerve and invoke the parasympathetic nervous system. And we're going to continue doing this now. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to send the feet out. And we're going to draw them back in together and come off our bolsters if you used it to raise up your bottom to sit tall. Coming into what's called Baddhasana, feet together into prayer. Allowing our knees off the side, butterfly wings. If you'd like to place a block underneath the knees, if you're not that open, it can help. But then we just pull our bolsters firmly against our sacrum. Nice inhalation, exhale, lean back over the bolster, allowing the shoulders to melt over, flipping our palms up into a receptive gesture, and allowing the shoulders to roll, the heart to be exposed, the throat, genitalia. We're sending signals to our body that we're not in flight or flight. Ready to process and detoxify and cleanse our body. So, send some opening, receptive thoughts to yourself, turning inward, embodying that intention, cleansing with the breath. If you have your own intention, your own Sankalpa that you'd like to draw into this moment, draw up, inhale the right hand to the chest, and then bring the left hand to the belly. And just feel our chi here, and draw that intention to our heart center, and let it resonate still every ounce of our being. And project that out into the universe. Love, somebody who's hardest to love, maybe. Maybe that's yourself. the right knee up and over towards the left knee, shifting off our bolster now to the left side, our lunar side. Using our arm as a pillow, pausing there briefly in a fetal position. Pressing in to the ground. Rising up. Still eyes a little softer, but move that bolster out of the way. We've opened up the chest there and allowed ourselves to ride a little deeper into this moment. And now we're just going to sit tall for a moment. And we have some tea tree oil here for our wrists, just for some aromatherapy here during some Nadi Shodhana. Now we're going to do some alternate nostril breathing. First, just sitting tall. Rock a little bit from side to side. Feel the flowering in the sit bones and the grounding of the earth. And then I like to draw my pointer finger, my index finger, up to my third eye, but you can also draw it to the palm if you like. And then the thumb is there for your right nostril, and the ring finger is there for your left nostril. So let's plug the left nostril first. Inhaling in through the right nostril. Plugging with the thumb at the top. Exhaling out through the left. Inhaling through the left. Plugging with the ring finger at the top. Exhaling out through the right. Inhaling through the right. Plugging with the thumb at the top. Exhaling out through the left. We're going to continue this for about 10 rounds total, or until you feel evened out of these skills here. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Nadi Shodhana, an alternate nostril breathing. And it helps balance the sun and moon energy, the yin and yang of the body, the masculine and feminine chi. And when I say that, I'm drawing back once again to the sun and the moon, not necessarily, whether you're a guy or a girl. Just trying to balance our energy and draw us into center. Also the mind and the spirit. It's just a great way to settle and even out the chi. Once you feel completed with a couple of rounds of that, then we just allow the hands to fall down to the knees. And we're going to just rock a little bit left and right, feeling the grounding on the sit bones. And then if you're at home and you don't have it self, we're going to start some Kundalini circles. So let's start by inhaling the shoulders forward left. Exhaling back, right. Inhaling forward left. Pressing the sides back, right. Like injections to the back of the throat. Good. And continue those rounds. And just continue this on the mat. And if you're at home with the silk now, we can continue these in the silk and bring our hands up around the front of the silk and take a single wrist wrap. And it's good to kind of pull on the fabric to pull yourself what's called under midline. And then we just center ourselves over our pelvic bowl once again, ground down, keeping hips firmly rooted, inhaling forward, first left, exhaling back, right. Now, we've been going that way for a little while, so the next time around back, we're going to straighten the arms and lean back, allow the head to fall and rock a little bit side to side, massaging the neck. If you're just doing this on your mat, you can bring your hands to your knees and just concave the chest, lean back, allow the chin to fall. Now, we're going to inhale right up, inhale like forward right now, reversing and exhale back left. taking the opposite direction. And the silk allows us to explore further outward, but it also allows us to pull tighter towards smaller circles rising up. You always want to remember to draw in the neck and the crown here. Make sure to go both directions. I'm going to go a little the opposite direction since I did a lot. But no matter whether you're in a silk or on your, just take that both ways. Good. And now we're going to just pause here, rock a little bit, and we're going to now extend the feet out in front, and then we're going to pull on our fabric, rising the hips up to the sky. It's rising up in the fish pose, and then lower it back down, looking overhead, and inhaling and rising up and peeking through our window, and sigh that all the way down. Good. Oh, let's repeat that one more time. Let's inhale and rise the hips up, back, and then exhalation, we rise back up and peek through the window. Sigh. Down, good. And you just work yourself all the way down to the mat. And if you're at home, we're going to do some good stuff here that you can do anywhere. We're just going to we're going to draw the knees into the chest. We're going to give ourselves a hug. Send some love to yourself. Rock a little bit on the center line. And then exhale and draw the knees wide towards the armpit. Rock a little bit. Maybe press down, wag your tail, feel the grounding of the sacrum. Good. And then begin inhaling forward, left, big circles, drawing them with our knees. You're going to pull us here. Pressing down the outer edges of the back, the top, the scapula of the sacrum at the bottom. Not paying as much attention to the center. Good. Wide circles. And then drawing the knees in, giving yourself a hug. Exhale out and draw the knees towards the armpit. Good. Give yourself a good squeeze there. Inhale right this time. Circling, exhaling, flying back. If you find some stickiness as you're circling out and around, it's your practice. Own that. Stay there for a while. Work with it. And then we're just going to give ourselves another little pose. We're going to exhale the feet down to the mat width apart, and inhale the arms overhead, good morning stretch, and then exhale and cast just the arms. Knees are hanging and knocking toward each other, and we'll start those a little bit left and right, and then allow them to fall over to the right. Key the left arm, right arm is still casted. Staying there for a couple of moments. To quote my wonderful friend James here. Good way. Stay there for a couple moments. Allow your timing, your breath to be your own. Inhale, the knees up and the left arm up into cactus. Exhale, allow them to fall left while keying the right arm. Gaze to the right hand. Left hand is still cactus. And we inhale. Bring the right arm up into a cactus, the knees back up, and allow them to fall and knocking a little bit. Start that. And then just walk the feet in a little bit towards your bottom. Press into the left leg, or whichever is your dominant leg. Let's send that up or off the ankle a little bit. And then stick it into the valley of the fabric. And we're going to turn it out to the side. That's locking. You can lower down the hips a little bit. And then inhale the hips up again, sending the other foot in and turning that out. That's going to lock you in. And then just exhale, slowly drift the hips back down to the ground. And then we just find our arms up overhead, kind of in a good morning stretch while we just wag our tail here. Just gently begin to open up the base of the spine, sacrum here. Inhaling the hips up, rising up. And exhaling, pulling the arms and the hips down slowly, shifting one vertebrae left and right at a time, lowering down. Really lengthening. Inhaling and repeating that process, sinking the arms overhead. Slowly lowering down one vertebra at a time. We're gonna do this one more time. When we inhale our hands this time, we're gonna leave our hands by our side. Inhale the hips up, press the hands into the ground, and walk the shoulders, scapula underneath the back, and then clasp the hands and basket them, and rise the hips up even higher. Good. Opening up the chest there, and then rolling the shoulders out from underneath and coming down. And then we're going to inhale the right foot up to the sky, and exhale and draw that down again, and squeeze the knee. And then with an inhalation, stack the hips over to the right, and roll the right knee over to the left, coming into a supine twist. Keeping the right arm and looking over to the right. You can T-spine, big toe, or whatever you like. And we're going to inhale back in. Got a lot of stuff I'd like to show you. That would be a great one to stay in a long time right now. And we inhale, extend the right leg up, send it down into the fabric and sway a little bit down. And then inhale, rise back up. Once you're about in a flat line, extend the left leg up and out, pointing that toe, circling out the ankle, and then exhaling the left knee down and into the chest. Give that a good squeeze. And then inhale and stack the left hips and draw the left knee across the right side of the body, looking towards the left hand. Breathing out the descending colon last. You don't want to push lactic acid the wrong way in your body, cause indigestion. Staying there for a couple moments. If you're at home, honor that a little bit longer. Good one for 80 seconds. Inhale the left knee back in. Give it a squeeze. Lift it up. Circle out the ankle a little bit. Bring it down. Way down. Good. Now we're about to climb up. It's in the right knee into the loop, and then the left knee. And we're going to do the biggest sit-up of our life now. Inhale the right hand up to the fabric. You got it. Climb up. Pausing there. We're going to lower down into our trash can. And now, these are a really fun, beautiful way to get up. We're going to inhale, extend the legs, rise up into our seat, massaging the legs. Let's do that one more time. Let's slide back down, have a little play. Good. And then on a forward swing, bring the leg, and then we come back out. We pop forward, out of the fabric, flaunting one leg forward, a little Barbie foot. And then we take a little bit left and right motion with the arms cactus here, opening up the shoulders here, good. And then we walk down and extend the left leg forward. And we pedal and drive the heels behind us, launching the left foot. Just think of a Barbie foot. Good. And then we walk the left foot back to meet the right, drawing the hands overhead, walking underneath our midline, till our hands are right underneath midline, in the loop. And what we're going to do here is we're going to extend the left knee forward and pull on the right pole fabric, steering to the right, and inhaling back, exhaling and inhaling, extending to the left, sending the right knee forward, and then just find some motions left and right of your own, opening up. Then I like to come back to the middle, pull on the poles of fabric, rising up, drawing the right knee up to the hands, inhaling up, and exhaling, hinging into Warrior 3. Take a moment to square the hips to the ground. Then inhale, find a little more flexion and rise the right leg up. Then exhale, Jiva squat. Draw the right knee behind the left knee, squatting down, drawing the hands closer. Then inhaling and extending the leg behind you. And exhaling down to Jiva squat. And then inhaling. This is a fun one. Up into Warrior 3. With exhalation, draws the right knee up and in. For a high knee. Exhale. Sigh that out down. Good. This is where you're going to feel a difference between like do a shimmy shake here. Good. Now let's inhale and draw the left knee up now. Inhaling up. Exhaling, extending into warrior three. Good. Now let's inhale and rise up. And exhale, extend back to warrior three. Try to level the hips. Now we're going to exhale. On the next exhalation, left knee behind the right, coming into Jiva Squat. On the other side, and inhaling, and extending, and exhaling, and bowing down. Good. Inhaling, and extending. Good. And exhale, then with an inhalation, draw the left knee up to the hands. And exhale, down. Good. Do a little shimmy shake from side to side. And you're just going to see how we're going to begin to be able to bridge some of the stuff. We're going to do a short warrior sequence here since we're running short on time. We wanted to take Ellen through a traditional lead-in. So we're going to show a little bit of a warrior flow. We don't have enough time for both sides, but then we're going to move into some of the really important poses and demos. How's that sound?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Good, right?
Yep. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that.
Time goes so fast when you're doing aerials. It's great. So let's get into some good stuff here as far as warrior sequences, what that will look like in the film. Let's inhale and extend the right knee into the fabric, finding hook, and then come onto the back toe, finding tension with the line, drawing the hand overhead for support, finding crescent lunge. Like always, maybe exhale, draw the hands down to the hip, find strength in your stance, then inhale the hands up again. Exhaling, cactus them, opening the chest towards the sky. Balance challenge, looking up, good. And inhaling the arms up overhead, back into salute. Exhale and rainbow, open to warrior two. And then with the inhalation, we flip the palms to the sky. Oh, good. And then exhale. And inhale, left hand to thigh, right hand to sky. Now reversing your warrior. And then exhaling. We're going to hinge and tick-tock the arms to 6 and 12. Maybe press the right knee, elbow against the right knee. And then extend the right foot out in front of us if you like. The left hand can go for some support on the right pole of fabric if you like. Don't collapse on the knee though. Then we're going to inhale the left hand out for a little up challenge to meet the right hand. We're going to grab an energetic ball. We're going to draw that up and in through our fabric, activating our core. And then shifting back into crescent lunge, pulling on our toe a little bit. And then swinging. And then there's a little play time right there. Yep. And you can go there and you can just bridge into drawing out the right foot and going into a warrior sequence. We will even out after this is over, but for the sakes of everybody at home, we're here to show some awesome stuff. So, big bangers, we got to show people probably one of the most amazing things to tell people in aerial yoga. I don't want to make it silly join aerial yoga, but it just feels good in your body. What I do on my home practice every day, even if I can't get to the gym, is I decompress my back from the sacrum. It's the safest spot, hands down. It's the biggest, most weight supporting area. Decompress the spine. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little demo here, and we're going to do it two directions, so you can see here that way and me this way. We're going to pause in what's known as crow, and then we'll maybe each go and maybe take a moment to point out, but first we're going to begin by pulling the fabric firmly around the base, around the hips, thumbs on your tops of your hips, the iliac ridge, good, and then walk underneath your midline, all the way in. And then we just bend into one leg and send about 60% of our weight back. It's just like you had a pair of skinny jeans going on there. And then you lean back, draw the other knee up and in. You're pausing here, what's known as crow. You can balance for a moment, work with the abs here. It's really intense, good. But then we bring our hands back eventually, and we send our feet wide, leaning back. Don't mind your neighbor. And exhale and draw those feet together into prayer, and then release the hands. Don't press the hands against the ground. It will move the fabric into an uncomfortable place on the sacrum. You are secure here. This holds a lot of weight. Trust me, you can't pull it out. And then we just take a moment. Your first time in a Buddha hang, you might not want to stay here too long, so we're going to go back into this. But first time in, when you want to come out, you'll send your hands back in between the legs to pull the fabric. And then you send the feet wide, pull on the fabric, sending the feet back down. Now this is really important. You need to lean back. You did an inversion. The blood's going to recalibrate. You're going to be a little dizzy. You're going to get a free buzz. All right? But we draw the hands and we cross them over the fabric, leaning back, create a basket with our hands. This is called chill pose. It's here for you to recalibrate. Good stuff. But then once you're feeling good, or if you're a little more used to doing aerial yoga, then you can stay in your inversions even longer and try some really great variations of inverted dancers and pigeons and stuff, which we are going to explore a bunch of interesting bridges upside down. So we're both going to be talking. It may be a little funky, but it's going to be awesome. So yeah, we're going to hop back in now. Do you mind, let's do it one direction. Do it one direction for now, because we might be taking different variations.
Yeah, let's look at this because they're facing their towards the camera.
Yep, absolutely. All right, just like an 80s pair of skinny jeans, early 90s, pull it on real tight. Yeah, and then lean in. Send up one leg, then the other. If you're under midline, don't swing that leg. We send the feet wide, leaning back, and then we draw the feet together into prayer. Once you're here, you can bring the hands behind the back, and clasp them and basket them and allow them to fall towards the shoulders. That can feel great as a heart opener. Commonly, you see people come in and bring the hands into heart center. It's good to draw in your focus there. Once you get the reverse prayer, that's a good one. But really functionality-wise, what a lot of people you're going to see do is drawing one foot over to an opposite pole fabric. I'm going to go my left foot to right, she's going to go her right foot to left, and we're going to draw over and hook the other pole of fabric and then release the opposite leg. And then you're here, upside down, opening up, and then you can kick the hands into the leg, finding a little bit of an inverted dancer's pigeon variation here. You can also draw the foot into the crook of the arm. She can show you this. I can't. Yeah, mermaid! Woo! Good stuff. It looks so pretty. It's not hard to want to come back in and see yourself. Alright, girl, it doesn't matter. This is a beautiful, beautiful art form. Everybody's beautiful. I see people coming to do this practice who are 500 pounds and just amaze me. They're just such beautiful offerings when you start moving your body and breathing. It doesn't matter. As long as you come in and you leave your ego at the door and you're coming here to hang out together and move, that's what really matters. And, you know, even out some other variations, say hooking in the side. I like to try what's called a pigeon variation, where you just bring your foot to the fabric and bring your hand above your feet and you draw up and in. That's one variation. And once you get dizzy, always make sure you come out. Any extensions you think we should show from here, more like a king pigeon? You think we should show Rajan?
Double catcher, yeah.
Double catcher?
Yeah.
Double catcher? I don't know. We could show flying fairy. From here, definitely. We draw the feet through the fabric, go straight through the center, and then send the hands up through the poles above your knees. And inhale and extend the legs out and rise up. Now, this is great to massage the thighs like we were talking about. This is a little painful at first, but it feels great afterwards. You can also come into what's called flying fallen angel. You can also just put on that diaper there. Looks like you go into a warrior stance. But really, flying fairy has a lot of its own benefits, and Personally, coming out by bringing your hands to one pole of fabric and then dipping out the shoulder and hooking the leg around the fabric is my favorite way to exit that pose because it helps decompress the spine. Feels lovely. If you do that, make sure you keep it out. What other things are important in there? A lot of little variations, but
A lot of things start there, and a lot of things you can build off of there.
the bridge point, for sure, in sequencing,
Yeah.
a big one. But another big one, and it's not that crazy radical to watch, but it's really important, is just your down dog, your front side hangs. Up dog and like come into stars, but it's basically hanging from the opposite side of your most stable place to hang from, which is the front of the hips, and then underneath the shoulders is the next best decompression spot, right across the iliac ridge there. Yes, exactly. So we're just gonna step forward and we're gonna flaunt and draw that across till we feel tension. Then we're gonna send one hand down and then the other and walk under our midline. And then, this is important, drive your feet down. If they come up, you're going to go through and out, you can fall out. But if you want to draw your feet up, you can. Just draw them up about 6 inches and send them out wider. And then there, you're floating. You can wag your tail a little bit, right and left, get a rhythm. Yeah, good. And then if you like, you can send the legs even higher. Send them wide. If you send them higher, though, that's what's holding you in. Once you're here, you can draw forward and up into up dog. It could be a really good workout to try to draw the feet up to the wrists. It's actually really hard to do. But then what I like to do is just go straight into like a star here, just by releasing the hands, sending the legs up wide. And then what I like to do after that is to walk forward and draw the fabric up over my chest, like a little bamboo tube top. Maybe double it. And depending on how big your breasts are, you just adjust it so you feel comfortable. But then you could just paddle the heels here. I like to press into it and hang. Ragdoll, like Alethea is doing, is awesome. Ragdoll, and then start to push forward into the ragdoll, and then flex into the toes, and then this, I call it phase +1. Oh! And then we walk under the ragdoll again, and it's a great place to just recalibrate and slowly rise up. Good stuff. And what we're going to do now before we go is we're going to show you some stuff in the fabric and how we end that out. We're going to come around to the front side of our fabric, and we like to just find the edge, and we're going to just sway that out left and right, getting rid of any little folds or anything. Just imagine your worries blowing away in the breeze. Definitely set that cue for you guys. Sag. And then gather up 5 handfuls. Bunch that up and release one hand. Keep it in the other hand. And we're going to walk up to the fabric, turn around and grab it with both hands again, and lift one foot up, putting one cheek in the fabric, and then bringing the fabric down to the knees. Good. Okay. So we're inhale the arms overhead and grab the edges of the fabric with our pointer finger and our thumb. It might take a second to find it. That's okay. Spread your wings out wide. Find those edges. And then draw down with your thumbs. Put your fingers out, thumbs down. Slide that down and lift up your bottom just a little bit and slide that extra fabric for a double tuck. It may take a little while. It's not necessary. Give it a couple tries. If you don't get it the first time, keep exploring it. You'll get there.
The trick is to really lean into the knees.
Yeah, really lean in. And big booties are beautiful. Sorry, keep on talking. I'm just saying, love yourself. Work with yourself. Come in here and love yourself. I can't say that enough. Stop ego, but that person doesn't know. It's your contribution, your breath, your meditation. Thank you for sharing those. It really does mean the world to me. Otherwise, it'd just be me gobbling out, talking to myself. All right, yeah. So, we're just having some fun on the way demoing out, obviously. Now, we're going to drive the right heel and then the left heel into the fabric. Make sure your tail is about 6, just a little bit of tail coming off your back, but not too high. And then walk your hands down the fabric and drive the feet down. That's what's keeping you in. But once you're back here, you can release the hands here in waterfall. You can bring the hands behind the back. Do a heart opening here. It's great. Basket, allow the hands to fall away from the shoulders. Opening up that space. Good point to draw your attention back in. Close your eyes. And what I like to do is send my hands up to the fabric, and then I send my feet wide though, up, and I send them wide, and then I wrap them around, putting on a big pair of hammer pants and harem pants here, and then you're getting good compression up the legs. You're in a supported bucket seat, Buddha, or you can if you draw the feet down together. Pretty much. You have the legs circled around, but I like to drive and point the toes here to massage the hips. Rock a little bit from side to side, and then from this position I do my shoulders, knees, and toes. Apple down. You can put head, shoulders, knees, toes, knees, toes, knees, toes. You know? And this stuff will get you good. What's really great here is the lateral isolation crunches. Just going up to one side. Good stuff. And then, once you're feeling a little dizzy, always remember hands come up to the pull the fabric, send the feet wide. And what we're going to do, we're going to draw up, we're going to come up into our seat. And what we're going to do is we're going to just pedal, and we're going to draw the fabric up to the smile of our crack. And draw our hands down the fabric, tight, creating a little bucket seat here. Bucket seat Buddha. We're getting all the Buddhas, but we're going to be quick about it so we can still show you our way out. We're going to lean back, and this is going to give you a nice compression around your booty and around your hips. And I have dysplasia, as I mentioned, from Calpurnia. That's why I do aerial yoga. It allows me my mobility and to walk, and this just feels great. I know it feels great for other people too for their own reasons, but, you know, getting together and feeling good, being able to smile, look people in the eyes and hang out. Alright, cool. So with that, some feet wide, rise up, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and find our double tuck, and we're going to release that because we're almost out of time. We're drawing the fabric up overhead, drawing it over the head. This allows it to hook on your forehead, and you release the hands in front. We're going to come into what's called bear. You're going to find the front edges of the fabric with the thumb and the pointer. Not as easy as it sounds, but you'll find it. Just don't give up. Find the edges. See, I mean, I do this every day, and it still takes me a little time. And pointer finger and thumb, grab them, roll it out the end, and then you lean back, taking the fabric with you all the way around, and drawing it back to the front again, then extending the feet up into the pockets. I like to release the fabric that's wrapping around up to the ankle a little bit, but then sending the hands overhead into prayer, and then feet are up the wall, the blood's pumping against gravity, arriving in, back, just with your breath, just with this present moment. Allow yourself to just be here and loving awareness, without judgment. And we draw the hands into the body. Keeping the feet from the loops, sending the feet into the fabric, sending the hands overhead, taking a good morning stretch, swaying a little bit, side to side, fully getting yourself into the fabric, and then drawing the hands in, over the body, crossing the arms, and arriving to your weightless and your savasana. Take a moment to close down the eyes. Be, not do. Draw your awareness into your body. Draw your hands overhead. Good morning stretch. Sway a little bit from side to side. Begin to walk the feet out a little bit. Feel the fresh air on yourself. You can send your hands up, full stab or club. Drawing stab or step. Going on. Full stab or rising up to an easy seated position. Taking a moment there, like lean forward for just a second. Inhale and rise up, draw the hands overhead. Take one more cleansing breath. Open mouth, exhale. Draw the hands down into heart center. It's truly a pleasure getting to share this practice with you. Let's draw our hands up to our third eye. As a reminder, drawing it down to our lips. As a reminder, coming to our heart. Bowing forward, honoring practice. love and light in me, sees and knows the love and light in each and every one of you. Acknowledgement. Thank you so much for doing it. Thank you so much for that lovely music. That was beautiful. Yes. James Buchanan, that's how you pronounce your last name, right? Buchanan.
Scottish.
Scottish. Well, I hope you guys will go check out his offerings and his classes and his music. He's a very talented, amazing musician. I'm very blessed to have that for this and for all the times you get to come in for your practice. It's good stuff. Thank you so much. We're going to answer some of the questions out there. But yeah, I hope you go out and find aerial practices for yourself. Or if it's when studios do open back up, go and check it out. And more than that, just finding your own yoga practice that inspires you. It doesn't have to be aerial. You don't have to be a bass player to find inspiration like me or a percussionist. Look, finding something that you resonate with and giving your contribution to the world right now with an open heart. It's truly important, and I thank you for it. I have these words I will leave our practice with, and then we are just going to maybe say hello here for a moment and smoke some weed and see if there's any questions. Just like to say this because it reminds me of the wonderful people I see that choose to do these things that inspire them. The thing that I remember best about successful people I've met all through the years is their obvious delight in what they're doing, and it seems to have very little to do with worldly success. They just love what they're doing, and they love it in front of others. Fred Rogers. Thank you. All right, well, we're going to hop over here now. Would you do me the honors of grabbing us the ball? And maybe you go ahead and pick out one of the strains you like. And, yeah, afterwards, make sure to drink plenty of fluids, especially when you're at elevation, if you're out here in the mountains. We're mile high, y'all, all right? So I brew my own kombucha. Big fan of probiotics and taking care of your gut biome. It's really important right now. And my favorite thing for my health lately has been Paul Stamets BioDefense, Host Defense, Lion's Mane. Great with your coffee. It's good for your immune system support. And oh yeah, we got so rushed at the beginning. We were gonna burn some sage and Palo Santo, but we had a little technical startup. Sorry for the snafu, the 20-minute delay. But that happens. You know, I went to school for engineering audio a long time ago. I worked as sound engineer, and maybe that was a reminder for my own ego that audio problems, you just stay patient. And not audio, it's more of a broadcasting thing. But I'm glad y'all came and hung out with us and dropped questions. Absolutely. So that we can hang out with you here. And you want to do the honors? Want to do the honors? Where's the stream?
I couldn't find it, so I just
So we're gonna let's go to Nikki's. A big shout out to Nikki Graham. Big shout out to Ryan Ruga and the Connollys. I think his wife Renee and his daughter Layla. So thankful for y'all doing this for all of us artists and people out there. And people just seeing people sharing their craft, you know, open-heartedly, just because they love the creative process. All right. trying to find what's on here. Here is the post. Oh, all right. We're gonna get a little loop thing going here, but is there where can we see the commentary? Oh, that's right. That was a technical problem. We apologize. The commentary booth. There's a little field that we had to activate, and then we had to rebroadcast from another network. So if you go on to the comments under the post and just in Facebook now, we could field any questions about that. But yeah, there was a little scrolling field, and that's why we were here 20 minutes late. But what would you say are some big questions for people looking to get going?
A lot of
That we
people,
didn't cover.
I mean, we kind of covered it. We didn't cover exactly, though, how
Well, I've
strong
been
the
talking.
fabric is.
Please take the mic.
How strong the fabric is. So these fabrics are meant to hold about 2,000 pounds.
Yeah, and I think the specific, what is it? There's dynamic weight ratings, which means like moving from certain points. There's centrifugal force, and there's also a lot of different things with test strength, the different ratings you get. But basically, all of them are rated between about 3,000 to 7,000 pounds. Some of these lead ropes and stuff, for Lyras and stuff, are rated very high. Really, more than anything, it's going to be going to make sure you have a proper mounting. Studios, usually mount into rafters. Let's close this. Up to exposed rafters is a good one. There's also the big clamps that you see in circus studios that go to like main huge metal trusses. Let's try to bring this so we can see. No comments. No worries. The fabric is gonna hold you though. Get tricot fabric for sure. I think Anti-Gravity has it, and Aerial Essentials has it, and AerialYoga.com has it, but can't speak highly enough of Aerial Essentials.
Yeah.
Straight up, they just do it right, and they've done the test research as far as all those questions about the rating on the weight.
And like that's what I was first introduced to in Bali from Aerial Yoga Vienna. It's Aerial Essentials.
Why I do keep this as a serious yoga practice, that's what I want to introduce it as, is not some crazy other thing. It's a different, just another prop that you can bring in and incorporate, and that obviously is going to change some things, but, the more people can start seeing this as a way to bridge their normal yoga practice, I think they're going to be able to tie together a lot of benefits and see some things they're doing. But it did cross over, and I guess first was aerial performers in Venice, wasn't it? The circus performers there. And then about 2006, some of them started having the anti-gravity format or something might have come out. Like they kind of branded and started a studio, a flagship studio. So,
almost like how I mentioned earlier, like Aerial Yoga Vienna, I mentioned, Born to Fly, Sky Yoga, they're all aerial yoga. They're just different brands and kind of different styles. And a lot of times you'll find that pose names are not very universal. So very rarely will
there's definitely the nomenclature, the Sanskrit directional, and then just tribes have their own.
Yeah.
You're making shapes. Let's be honest. It's more close to restorative naming of poses because we're naming shapes. And so it's a lot of when you said that's a good way to look.
Yeah.
It made more sense to me when I started looking into yin mat practice, and when I started looking into restorative mat practice, it was like, okay, what shape, what asana is going to make sense. here, or another way we approach is what functionally does it do
Yeah.
for us? How does it feel in our body? But it's so new that you gotta encourage people to get together and work on an agreement for what works for flow. And you find different people's flavor, which is great. But I'm not a big fan of branding, to tell the truth. I think we all can share in it. I think if somebody wants to brand a little bit of business, but then going down as far as a Bikram path, trying to say this is mine. I think all of us sharing together and keeping progressing it forward for the common good of us all is what I really love to see. I'd love to see a lot more guys come in and try this practice. I think there's a little bit of insecurity. And same old, I don't know if I want to stick my butt up in there and do down dog. Oh no, expose myself. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm being cheeky, but I am. I mean, I had those own insecurities to the point where I took on bad coping mechanisms that were not healthy. And when I could have just hung upside down and literally changed my perspective. So I'm thankful for this practice, for giving me something that would make me show up every day and want to do that, want to be present, find the celebration in life again around around everything, because when your skin and your body feels good and you can go out and hang out and join in life. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the work you're doing and all the healthcare workers, what y'all are doing with everything, man. Oh, yes, absolutely. We have come now to the end of our broadcast. We're going to come into the field in a little bit, and we're going to commentate on that. But, yeah, thank you so much for joining us.